Hey everyone, welcome to Dark Souls 2. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm gonna try to tell you why. I'm gonna start a new game. I've been playing this a little bit, but I haven't beaten it yet, so once we get caught up to where I am in my other saves, it'll be a blind playthrough, but I'll know what I'm doing, so it won't be like awkward and weird and shit. So, new game. And there's a very long opening cinematic that I'm gonna skip. I hope you don't mind.
Perhaps you've seen.
I highly recommend that you go and look it up yourself, but I mean, if you're here to share this game with me, I don't want you to have to like sit through a Hideo Kojima, type opening first. Very good video though, you should go look it up. Basically, your character is undead. The whole land is cursed with this sort of zombieism. And it's not like, modern zombie mythology where you just shoot them in the head and they go down. Like, you can kill them in 1,000 ways. Light them on fire, throw them into the ocean, make sure there's nothing left. And they will regenerate from these bonfires that their souls are linked to. And I think this game is really pretty. I mean, look at that. And this is a place called Things Betwixt. And it's sort of a limbo. In the opening scene, your character finds this old lady. She basically says, hey, there's a land called Dranglaic, and I hear that you want to do something about this undead curse. Well, you need to go there. I'm really paraphrasing here. I'm probably butchering it a little bit. And as you can see, I always forget about those things. They set the tone right off the bat. You got your skeletons, you got your little critters. And I can make some demonstrations here, and then you get away. But I'm gonna tell you about some game design while you're in here. So right off the bat, they've set up the theme. There's gonna be a lot of death, and there's gonna be a lot of little things you're not gonna understand, like those critters there. So we're gonna cross this bridge and head for the obvious objective there. But in the meantime, if you look down there, see that little shiny bit there? That's how items show up in this game. So we haven't even gotten to like any kind of tutorial. We haven't fought a single thing. Oh, there's a way down. And already they're like, hey, you better keep your eyes open. You're gonna need to look around. You haven't even barely gotten started and you're already finding treasure. So this is their way of sort of giving you a little elbow bump and being like, you know what? You should probably search around, so let's look around this area a little bit. We got another opening right here, and there's a big thing. And for the sake of showing you guys this, I'm gonna go up here. We're gonna say hi. This, some kind of an ogre pig man, and he's big and he's scary. And I'm gonna punch him in his butt. And I'm dead. And there's another thing they're teaching you right there. It's like, there's gonna be some enemies you run into that you probably shouldn't try to pick a fight with. Like, I walked right up to him and touched him before he went aggressive. Like, maybe you shouldn't fuck with everything. Maybe you should try again later. We're gonna let you go anywhere you want and do whatever you want to do, for the most part. There's a few things you need to get keys for and stuff like that, because they would be game-breaking in some ways. Here's another little cave. But, sometimes you just shouldn't. We got a rusted coin. Okay. And I'll show you what some of these items do here in a moment. I don't want to bore you too much right off the bat. Figure before this Let's Play first video is over, I want to kill some dudes. I don't want to leave you guys waiting. I'll show you one quick thing. So this is the way to the big guy again. I'm not gonna bother to explain controls unless you, like, make a request in the comments or something. Oh, I died right there. See that glowing green orb over my blood? That's my blood, by the way. That's my blood stain, if I can get back to it. If I did have any souls, like, that I'd collected, then I can retrieve them. It gives you a chance to be like, oh, I'm dead. I'm gonna lose all that, basically, money. Like, no. You get one chance to get it back. Or, like, maybe you made a dumb mistake. You walk off a cliff. Well, just because you walked off a cliff, we're not gonna punish you too brutally. You know, everybody makes mistakes. You know, go back and get your stuff. This game isn't as brutal as everybody says it is. It is pretty brutal, especially if you don't pay attention, and really especially if you can't be patient. Like, if you can't take a step back and learn from, you know, your mistakes and what you run into. I'm gonna shut up for a second.
The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
There are some bits where the dialogue's real awkward. I can hear some of you saying that already.
What is your name?
What else would I be? And that's the name I'll show up as to people who want to play with me online as well.
You know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Okay, so I'll knock out character creation pretty quickly. I'm basically gonna kind of do a half-assed version of me. Leave it as a dude. Build's close enough. Nah. Maybe if I was playing as Tommy. That looks close enough to me. Let's put a goatee or something on him. I'll make it quick, don't worry. They don't really have a good goatee, do they? No, it looks terrible. Let's go with that. Close enough. I'm not gonna be too fiddly about this. I'm just gonna spend a lot of my time with the helmet on anyway. That's blonde enough. Yeah, that works. Alright, and classes. I'm gonna start as a knight. Probably. Yeah. You know, unless somebody comes in and is like, hey, you should start as a cleric or something else, I might remake the character, but you're gonna have to respond pretty quickly for me to do that. I think I'm gonna stick with knight, though. And you can always respec yourself a little bit later. And for those of you who haven't played the game before, you can pick your classes. Knight has decent starting armor, good amount of strength and health, and I was playing as sort of a spellcaster before. I want to try something where I can wield more strength weapons, so we'll go with a knight. And there are these items. This gives you a little bit of extra max hit points. That's something I can level up to get. It's not a huge buff, really, and I want those ring slots for more useful rings, probably. This will let me turn into human once, or protect me from invaders. I'll explain that later if anybody cares to know. You know, leave me a comment. These are healing wares. This is useful for someone who's never played before. You get to start off with some, like, healing items so that you don't just get jacked right at the beginning. This will teleport you back to a bonfire one single time. Really kind of lame as an opening item. Don't recommend it. You get to keep all the stuff you have, like all your souls, and you get to stay human, you don't die. This makes it so that if somebody invades and tries to go PvP on you, you use this item and every monster in the game will turn and attack them. So, like, normally they don't aggro the monsters. This will make it so all of them are aggro on them. It's pretty badass, but it's used one time and it's gone. I'd rather just try my luck against the guy or girl. Bonfire aesthetic. I've seen these in the game. They're super expensive. These basically take one section of the game and permanently put it on hard mode. It just New Game Pluses an area instantly. Which there's some really rare, really awesome weapons and armor that you can only get in New Game Plus. You can sort of get around the system this way and get it in your first playthrough, but you still have to fight the New Game Plus enemies. And if you start a New Game Plus, that section stays buffed, so it goes to New Game Plus Plus mode. It's pretty hardcore. This is a petrified something. You use this thing at a certain character in the game, you could trade it to get a random rare item. What do you think, guys? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You know what, I'll go with this guy. No, this guy. I'm gonna do it. Man, I can look kind of derpy. I have an idea. Nah, that's too blonde. That's better. Don't worry, I'm not gonna be doing this for long. There, that's better. That works. Okay, finalized creation. This is my true self. Sorry for this boring bit. Don't worry, I'll get to the good stuff soon.
The same reason to break the curse. You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
You don't even know me.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom. But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer.
There.
You lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
See, they're warning you again. Hey, this is kind of a hard game. You know what you're getting yourself into. But really, it's hard in certain spots, but it's totally doable. Also, I got the collector's edition, so I get to start with a bunch of extra stuff. It's kind of cool. Yeah, this is looking pretty cool. So I'm gonna talk to this lady.
This is a limbo. A link between Drangleic and the outer world.
Oh, I already explained all that. It's okay.
Fair traveller, I know that you must have a story. What, this lost?
Whoop. Why else would you come to visit, is what she said there.
My name is Millibeth. The old women were once fire keepers. I am here to look after them. It is what my mother did, and her mother before her, and so on. The old women were keepers of the fire. But now, the fire shows signs of fading. and the kingdom is beset by hollows.
Hollows are what I was at the beginning there, sort of. A hollow, I'll explain the curse as I'm going through the area ahead. There'll be some walking around and boring stuff. It'll give me a moment.
The old women as sisters.
I say boring.
I
I'm gonna be
told
kicking some
there
ass.
was a fourth. Long ago, firekeepers were commonplace. But now they are lost, scattered to the winds.
Okay, so she said there's 4 firekeepers. There's 3 of them here. I suspect that the old lady in the opening is a firekeeper, and she's sending people who are trying to break the curse here. And I'm guessing they sort of call her Fate as an allusion to the Greek myth of the old ladies who have the vision problem, like these guys obviously do, who, send people off to meet their destiny.
The old women.
Blah, 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 blah. Already heard that bit. I'm gonna check up these stairs. I think there's something up here. I haven't been here in a long... There we go. Long time. Human effigy. Okay.
You must go on a journey without rest. Well, I suppose
Oh, sorry.
you find yourself at an impasse.
Impasse. You pronounced
If
it correctly.
your will is yet unbroken,
Good for you.
then you may return here to start again with a clean slate.
Okay, so she's basically telling you that later in the game, if you find that you've built your character badly and you're getting your ass kicked real quick, these are sort of tutorial stones. You can use them to light torches, and they heal you. They refill your Estus flask. You'll get that later. We'll get that later. I see an item. Yeah. Soul of a Lost Undead and a torch. Soul of a Lost Undead is an item. You just smush it and it gives you a bunch of souls. There's different names for different amounts of souls. Soul of a Lost Undead, Proud Knight, whatever. Light the bonfire. Yeah, such a cool effect. Go ahead and rest at it. Why not? Sorry, I bumped my mic there. Okay. And I'll explain I'll explain stuff as I use it so that it's not just boring and me going through crap. You can learn it as it comes necessary. So, yeah. Tutorial stones, you can smash them if you're not careful. It's just like everything in this game. Be careful about what you're doing, dummy. If I feel like I need to use a shield, I'll grab one of those shields that I started with, but I'm feeling pretty confident. Pretty sure I can kick some ass in here. So, this area, I should stop for a sec. This is the Forest of Things Betwixt, the Ancient Forest. And it's sort of a tutorial area. I'm not going to read the tutorial stones, because I pretty much know how to do everything I'm going to need to know for now. I'm sure something will come up later. But, I played through Dark Souls 1. I've played this quite a bit. I mean, I haven't beaten it, but I've screwed around a lot. I started a bunch of different characters of different classes just for the hell of it. Just to try stuff out. I got the farthest with a sorcerer because I decided to try that. Bam! Expert kill. If you want to know more about the controls, you'll play the game. Or ask me. I can explain it. But for now, I'm not going to bother. So you're here to watch me play, not to get a lesson in Dark Souls tactics. Get wrecked. I'm going to head up this way. Because it's the obvious way to go. Ooh. Nope. Take him out. Saw this on the way up here. head through here. Okay, so those things sort of mark moving into different regions. It's kind of like a heads up, something a little bit new ahead. Sometimes that moves you into a boss zone, so it's kind of just like, you know, before going through here, make sure that you're not jacked up, and so you don't just die on the other side. It's kind of a warning. It's the game's way of saying, hey, look out, be aware. So, you know, they throw you nice little hints.
Give it move. Yes, you. Give us Silky.
Okay, so these are the birds, silky and smooth. They want anything smooth and silky. So this is a smooth and silky stone. This is that thing we got under the waterfall. Read the description. It's a smooth and silky stone. You can consume it to get hit points. It's the shine of this stone is no ordinary polish. It can only be achieved over a long period. Some in this land are in search of such stones. These birds. You leave it here. Close your menu.
Yeah. So nice. So smooth. Yeah. Silky smooth.
They like it. Yay! And then they mystically have traded me for something else. Crimson water.
Yes, you. Give us Silky.
Okay. I've got another thing for you. This was just me screwing around. I was dropping everything in the nest. Because in the first game, you could leave a bunch of different random items, and some of them they would like and give you an item back. And I wanted to see how many different things there were. I've only found 2 things that work. Smooth and silky stones and this guy. And they gave me a weird rare type of like weapon, or I never ended up using it because I was using a sorcerer, so I didn't need, you know, weapons. Anyway, petrified dragon bone. What are you? I'm betting yours. Yeah, for reinforces special equipment. Oh, so you can take like the legendary weapons and upgrade them. That's probably really, really rare. I'll bring those up, and if there's any plot points, I'll read it out to you, but I'm quickly just going to skim it. If you want to read the whole thing for yourself, kick that. So now it's extended down. I can now take this ladder from the entrance of the level, and I won't have to fight all the way around to get through. By the way, I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this and cut it into bite-sized chunks. I saw this down here from up there. So if this just cuts out in the middle somewhere, I'm sorry. You know, it's probably going to be a little bit awkward. I've never done this before. But I'll get better at it, and if you hang with me, I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself. Bam. You got nothing. Okay, jumping. Jumping in this game is really tricky. It was a little bit easier in the last game. They had a kind of a dumb mechanic in the last one, if you ask me, where the sprint button and the jump button and the roll button were all the same button. In this game, the jump button is its own separate button. I'm sure Rob will like to hear that. He's the only one I know that has played the first one that is probably going to watch this, so, you know, throw that out there. Just a guess. Let's see, do I have any throwing weapons? I have nothing. Oh, do I have a hat? Oh, I'll put my hood on. Oh, that looks dumb. Look at that handsome mug. Alright, here we go. Now, this is a tutorial for plunging attack. Oh, shit. Ooh, ran out of stamina. Plunging attack does huge damage. I see you down here. Oh, and, you know, these fog gates also are kind of a moment of, okay, you've cleared the area. You're about to move into a new area. You should probably take a look around before moving forward. This is the way forward. You know, if you're like me and you're an old school RPG player and you want to go through all the side branches to get all the cracked red eye orbs. Now we're gonna head through here. And probably get shanked. No? Oh no, that was the end of that section. Okay. So I'll go across this little bridge here. And no item. But I see an archer. I guess if I was the archer character, I could shoot him from here. Be a way of sort of bucking the system. Rolling sometimes makes you take less fall damage. By the way, these torches can be lit from a torch being lit at a bonfire. Usually just provide light to the area, but this area is already pretty bright. I'm not having any trouble seeing. I actually have the brightness set up a little bit. This archer guy in here is going to be a pain if I don't have a shield, so I'm going to go ahead and grab one. I forgot what I was saying there. I'll try to remember later. Yell at me. I'll get back to... Ow! I'll get back to it. You can interact with parts of the environment to make it so you can move forward. And you may notice that that arrow was pathfinding me. It's kind of mean, but in the last game, archers were completely non-threatening for the most part. You could just kind of step gently to the side and dodge everything like some kind of super ninja. Oh, shit. Oh, you dick. Come on. No, wrong button. You can sprint up ladders now. Hooray. You couldn't sprint up ladders in the last one. You can slide down, and you can still do that. Whoop, hello. Bam. Okay, there's a big dude down there. Maybe I'll come back to him later. I recently discovered what the item is guarding is. It kind of looks like a little boat. It's a coffin. It's a giant freaking coffin. And if you climb into it, you can swap genders, which is kind of weird, but kind of cool. It's a little strange that you climb into a coffin to turn back and forth between a guy or a girl, but, you know, it's cool that they give you the option to do so you can swap back and forth. Like, if I wanted to make the hero of our story a lady, I could, but I'm the hero. These are messages. People can leave messages from other worlds. Sometimes they don't make sense. Like that. Good luck. See, that makes sense. I'll give you a plus rating. When you give people a plus rating... Okay. Anyway, I'm going to stop reading these. We'll be here forever. People walk out of there, and as soon as you enter this area, you can start leaving messages for the first time, so people just... just messages everywhere. Who cares? Dumb stuff. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look at that water. So nice. And here we are. Kind of looks like somewhere to go. I can see a lot of people probably run off of there. Follow the path down here. Oh, I see you over there. What are you? Ooh, that's a good item. That's kind of a trump card. You use that item, it restores your health to maximum, and it cures all poisons and everything. You're just instant, maxed out, fresh, and ready to fight again. It's, you know, kind of awesome if you're like poisoned and on fire and about to die. Bonfire. Whoosh. And let's say hi to this nice lady.
Are you the next monarch?
Oh yeah.
Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse.
Are you getting the foreshadowing there?
I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters.
I assume.
Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
See, remember the old lady in the beginning? in the opening movie who sent me here and sent me off on this quest. They called her Fate.
Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick. Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
Oh. She's basically telling you there, you need to seek strong souls. You need to become powerful. You need to become great. Because all of an undead, like you, your power is all based on absorbing the souls of others and using them to make yourself stronger. So you find these other undead, which I should explain. Okay, a hollow is an undead who has been alive for so long that they've gone insane. I mean, they can't die of starvation, but there's no food. You can't die from being stabbed, but you still feel it. You know, sort of feel yourself rotting and getting weak. You can't even kill yourself. So, like, even the ones who give up hope can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna end it all and throw themselves off a cliff, because they will feel themselves die when they hit the bottom, and then they come back to life anyway. And there's no escape. So they eventually go hollow, where they're just a husk. There's no person left in there. So the best thing to do as an undead, you can kill a hollow. Eventually. You take their souls, you kill them, you take their soul, and you free it by making it a part of your own, your strong soul that is still healthy, that still has hope. Or at least that's the way I interpret it. Look carefully and praise the sun. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What view, actually. So pretty. And we've got a dude.
You're undead, aren't you?
This guy talks kind of slow.
You have that distinct scent, the smell of irreversible fate. This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement.
I'm gonna skip through
place where
these
life
at
is
reading speed because he
almost
talks so
normal.
slow and it makes my head hurt.
And in Drangleic these days, there are
So he's basically saying that this is a safe area for the most part. You come here, this is where people who have escaped from, you know, the horrible places retreat to, because it's relatively safe.
I am Solden. And like you, I lost everything. And now I'm here. You probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here.
I'll just let him talk.
Well, that's not true at all. There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody. Do you know much about souls? Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one. What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there. We undead will never die. And that's quite a predicament, really. There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls.
He's sort of explaining what we need to do.
And wherever you go from here, you'll sooner or later come up against them.
She also hinted at this.
Each has a powerful soul and a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now, like I have.
So he's like, oh, everything scares me, I can't handle it, there's nothing here, because, you know, nobody can pull it off. You'll never pull it off. He's basically talking smack, sort of, in his own way. Not really, but you know what I mean. Nobody can do it. You can't do it. I can't do it. And there are 4 giant souls who are all cursed. Like, they've been corrupted and gone awful, and you need to set those souls free and absorb them into yourself so that you can become powerful. And then you will have a chance to try and break the curse of the undead. You can free them from being undead, and you can end the madness and make it so that people can live natural lives where everyone doesn't eventually become an undead monster that tries to kill and steal the life of everyone around them.
Do you ever cry out for help?
Sometimes.
The journey of an undead is long and treacherous. You will face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid.
This is a cool covenant.
Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
Yeah. And you get a cool ring. Sort of cool.
That is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their benevolence. Let the Sentinels cradle you in their embrace.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to move forward a little bit so that you guys don't just have to sit here and listen to this. I'm sure you're starting to be like, oh, this is boring, too much talking. Hang with me. It gets cool. You're gonna get to watch me get my ass kicked and then kick ass back. Cause I don't take no shit. I do. I'm way too nice for my own good.
Who are you?
But I don't take no zombie shit.
Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door.
You too fat to fit through the window? Fatty, fatty, fat, fat, fatty, fat. You can fit through this one, maybe. No, look, here, come around. I'll give you a boost, dude. No? Okay, I'll get you your key. There's a lot of, semi-helpless people, you know, typical gaming thing. You know, you run out of ideas for reasons why people need help or why you can unlock a service, so they come up with a quest. Sometimes they're always good. This is Maudlin?
Hello there.
He's a nice guy.
Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares.
Don't mind if I do.
I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
Yeah. Hook me up, yo. Oh, doesn't look like I can afford anything. But you can get some decent gear from him.
I came from the west, from Volgan. Have you been there? It's a lively place, vibrant with trade.
After this one, I'm gonna stop talking to people and just go kick some ass.
And you have to grease the wheels to get anywhere. But I didn't have the funding for that, so I left home in hopes of striking gold. It's been years since then, and I've made very little headway. I don't even know why I'm still here. Everything's all run down and dying. It's terrible for business, really.
Alright, that's enough. But, yeah. You can get armor there. That's pretty cool. Liar ahead? Are you a mimic? You're not a mimic. You're a liar. Titanite shard. Use that to upgrade a weapon. End of story. Hop. Okay. And, you know, I'm going through all the dialogue, but you don't have to do all that. I mean, you get some cool stuff that way. Probably there's like there's extra plot line, and you can. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up this bonfire. And there's probably a few characters that you can get items from later in the game by talking to them enough. I think I've gotten a few. Yeah, I have. So, you know, talking to them, you get rewards for going through the plot. But, it could potentially have been delivered better. I like the plot. Treasure ahead and to the right? There is. You get a thumbs up. I like the plot. It's a very original storyline, and it sort of incorporates, you know, the human players into it. Rusted coin. I'll give you an example. Like, if you give up on this game, if you give up hope, if you're like, I can't take it anymore, they're basically saying, you know what, you're going hollow. You gave up. You're now a husk. You know, you couldn't take it, and now you let the world fall into disarray. But that's okay, because there are thousands of other people who are going to pick up where you couldn't handle it. There's a lot of suggested plot, like you have to fill in your own blanks. It doesn't just give it to you on a platter or with a spoon and be like, here you go, little baby. Which is kind of cool. But sometimes the way, like, you know, I had to sit there and talk to the same character like 3 times to get all of that character's plot. And it was a very boring speech in some ways. Like, so that kind of sucks, but the characters can be really charming. Look, I like Maul in there. He's a charming little nice guy. Splash. So I like the character, I just wish he, you know, more interesting conversation. But, you know, I started to get bored with it, so I'm moving forward, and I'll go back later. Sup? Got conquistadors to deal with now. I see you. You see me? Bam. That was a parry. If you time it exactly right, you can sort of knock their sword to the side, or whatever weapon. You get the idea. Oh, bonfire. See, this game's not so mean. You got these checkpoints all along the way where you can get healed up. Oh, and look, here's a person I can summon. Kit Kat bar. Aw, somebody already summoned them. That sucks. Those are summon signs. You look for those little white glowing signatures on the ground, and you can summon the person who left that signature, and they will help you in your world. And you can do the same in other people's worlds later in the game. You get an item called the White Soapstone that lets you draw a signature on the ground. You may have noticed that I didn't sleep at that bonfire, or rest, whatever, at that bonfire. You can't shoot me. Can't shoot me. Oh. Gotta... See? I used my environment to defend myself. They put that there for a reason. And they try to predict where you're gonna run to and shoot there. See an item down here. Oh, no you don't. Soul of a Lost Undead. Fortuna? Yeah.